Hey everybody! Today we are going to make this ground chicken meal, this rice bowl with all of these yummy ingredients, and I will show you how to make it now. I don't know why the picture looks like this. Don't come in the comments asking me why, because I don't know. But I am going to show you how to make this delicious dish right now. The first thing we're going to do is start our rice. So I'm starting some boiling water. This is how I make rice, okay? I don't have a rice cooker, and this is just what I do. I know it may be different than how you do it, and that is okay. As I saw in the comment section the other day, don't yuck on anybody else's yum. I don't really know what that means, but I'm going to use it here to defend myself in how I make rice. So I have my boiling water, and I'm going to use half of one of these chicken bouillon cubes, and this just makes the rice a little bit flavored. And these cubes are a little yellow. There may be a little bit of turmeric in them, and so it makes the rice very, very, very faintly yellow, not really enough to care about. So put it in there in your boiling water, add a little bit of salt, and that's Morton's iodized salt. And then I'm going to use my little whiskey whisk to break it up and dissolve it into the water. So I'm just going to let that come to a boil and then add the rice. You saw that I rinsed the rice. This is jasmine rice. Make sure that you just rinse your rice before you cook it. That makes the grains be very separated and perfect. Unless of course you're making sushi, and then that's a different skill set that I do not have. So I'm going to just whisk up my rice so it's a little bit broken up. And I'm going to show you guys a trick right now, I think. So you see the water is I put too much water in the pot. If you put a wooden spoon on top, it will prevent the pot from boiling over within reason. Okay, if you have your stove up really high, it'll still boil over. But within reason, the wooden spoon will help the pot not to boil over. It breaks the surface tension. That's what I read. I've tried it a lot of times. It works. Moving on to my onion. So I am going to actually end up using half of an onion. I started with a quarter of an onion, as you can see right here, but I ended up thinking, you know what, I actually need more onion. So I'm actually going to cut up at a half of an onion. All right, so that's my half of an onion all cut up. And next, moving over to my pot, I'm just making sure that it is hot. I have the worst stove in America, you guys. It is very unreliable. So I started to heat the pan while I was cutting the onion. So I put in a little bit of olive oil just to kind of get things going. And I'm putting in my chopped onion. Next, I'm adding in a little bit of salt just to help the onion start to cook. And I'm stirring that around. So just stir your onions to mix it with the salt and let them saute for a little bit in the oil. I'm just coming back over here to show you guys that this is not boiling over. I know that this is hard to believe that the trick works, but it works. So I also cut up an orange bell pepper that was just hanging out in my refrigerator, and I'm going to use this ground turkey breast that I bought from Whole Foods yesterday. It was 50% off. Okay, does Walmart even sell ground turkey this cheap? I don't know, but this pack, because it was 50% off, was only it was $8 originally, and it was $4. I was very impressed with my money saving skills. when I bought the $4 pack of ground turkey. So I am in the corner there gathering up my spices. I am getting some stuff from my little spice jar there. So this ground turkey, it tastes like a bunch of nothing, right? So you have to hook it up. So we're going to hook it up with some salt. Now, if you do it exactly like me, don't put that much salt. So you saw that I put like half a teaspoon and a little bit of pepper. But the main workhorse is going to be this Tony Chachere's or Chichari's or whatever his name is. We're going to season the hell, okay? The hell and the plain out of this ground turkey. So after you have your seasonings on there, just go ahead and start to break up the ground turkey and mix it with the onions so they can get very well acquainted. This might take a little while. It took me a little while and a little bit of arm strength, y'all. But eventually I got there. You want to just break up your ground meat, whatever you have. I am going to use this minced garlic, and I put a big old spoonful in there because the garlic that's pre-chopped is not like super flavorful. So I use a lot of it. What can I say? So I go ahead and continue to just like chop, chop, chop to make the ground beef kind of like minced up consistency. But like I said, this takes a while. So just do your best and get in there and make sure that the meat is all ground up to the consistency that you enjoy. I'm going to season it with a little bit more of the Tony Chachere's. As I was grounding up the meat, I noticed that it still looked a little too pale. You don't want to use so much of the Tony Chachere's that is like red, that your food is red, but you definitely want to, you want it to taste good, and this was very tasty. So don't be too terribly shy, but remember, you can always add more. It's very difficult to take things out. So I'm adding my bell peppers, my orange sliced up bell pepper on the side of the pan because I did not want to clean more than one pan, y'all. That's the only reason why I did that. And then I seasoned the bell pepper with some salt and pepper, just a little bit, nothing too major. And because this turkey is very lean, I added just a little splash of olive oil just to kind of help things continue to cook and get to where they needed to be. And then I put a lid on top so things can steam and just kind of finish cooking. So believe it or not, there's our rice. We're ready to plate things up. You can see in the background I have half of a sliced avocado. And look how nice my rice turned out, despite the kind of interesting way that I cook rice. But I have my sliced avocado in the background there. And that was just something in my refrigerator. This is my little series where I just cook stuff from the refrigerator, honestly. I just put things together, refrigerator cooking. And that was in the refrigerator. It needed to be eaten. It was delicious. So I added it to this rice bowl. So we have our rice that's lightly flavored, very nicely seasoned, honestly. And then our ground turkey that was not $8, but $4. So I'm really piling it on because I am trying to eat more protein to help me lose weight, to make me feel full so I don't, snack on things at night. So that's why I'm eating so much of this. But I have lots of my ground turkey. And I'm going to add my avocado. So it's very pretty, but you can tell that I am definitely no food stylist. We are basic as cooks over here. So we're almost done. I'm just arranging the avocados as nicely as I could. And then, if you watched my last video, you saw where I made what I'm going to add next. This was just some leftovers in the refrigerator. There it is. So the last thing that I am adding, if you want to know how to make it and what it is, you can check out my previous video. But it is basically steamed and seasoned, flavored butternut squash. So I made this in my last video. Go over to my page and check that out. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in my basic ass cooking community. And just to make it a little bit chefy, as my friend likes to say, I was looking in my little spice jar there for some parsley. I did not have any, but I had some dried chives. Now, did it make it taste any better? No, it did not. But look at how pretty. If you just sprinkle a little bit of greens on whatever you're cooking, it makes it very pretty. I would not have done that if I was not filming this video. So here we are, the money shot, baby. There we go. You can see that it is still piping hot. I basically just made it, took a video, and ate it right away. It was fabulous and delicious. I hope that you will subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment. I'll see you next time.